low. Hardaway straight down the lane. The power jam. Point guard on a 7'6" guy.
Left, 68, 64. Hardaway! Oh, baby!
Oh, my goodness.
Played in front of him, got the steal. Now to Hardaway, slams it in. In the way of Nick Anderson. Hardaway all the way, and he blasts off. Shaquille down low. Read the double team. Hardaway, hammer time. Left, 45-31. Penny drives baseline. Left side of Hardaway. Penny fakes a shot. Slanches down the lane. Tomahawks it down. Have a break. Here's Hardaway. Hill in the home on Ewing. Oh, baby. He was posterized here at the arena. For the shoot. Hardaway beats 1-2. Layup, good. 1.6 left. He hammers it home, and the Magic lead by 2. He fumbled the ball. Penny picks it up. Hardaway driving. Hardaway does it. 7/10 of a second left. Hardaway does it. Penny, he's got the rock against Asiah. Gets a beat straight from Horace. Hardaway splits. Fires it up. Good. 1.2 left. And the Magic lead.
And there's Penny Hardaway.
He's got it against Anthony. 3 to shoot. Hardaway hard drive. Leaning. Hanging. Yes. It's over. Hardaway with the ball. Heels near midcourt. Drives in on Ellis. Jump shot from 10 feet. It pops in and out. Back in. It went down. 4 seconds left. Here comes Penny. In the lane. Drive. Fires. Got it with 1.1 left. Hardaway comes back to Houston.
Yes.
And gives the Magic the lead back.
Good day. Welcome to another episode of Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ is Lord. Jesus died and he rose again. Amen. And let's get right into it. So, today we're going to be getting into a couple of things. First, Penny Hardaway. Okay. Man. We were robbed of what we could have seen from this brother. This man was Magic Johnson with a post-up ability of a center. Could handle the ball. Was fast. Was quick. And it really appeared that he was really on his way. Him and Shaq were on their way. And I remember a couple of his highlights. The one highlight where he dunked over Patrick Ewing. We all remember that, where he dunked over Patrick Ewing. Yeah. The playoff game in '95 versus the Pacers, where Brian Shaw hit a three Then Reggie comes back and hit a 3. Then Penny comes back and hits a 3. And it was just incredible to watch. Incredible to watch him, his athleticism, his passing ability. It's just a shame that we were robbed of seeing what Penny could have done, especially if he had played along with Shaq for a longer period of time. Okay, and so it sucks that we were robbed of that. But man, if those knee injuries, man. But sometimes, careers don't go the way they are supposed to go. And Penny Hardaway talked about the time where he started having knee issues. Okay, it was during the 1996 NBA playoffs. Okay, and they were playing the Pistons in the first round, and they said Joe Dumars slammed into his knee. And I went back and looked at the footage, and it actually wasn't Joe Dumars. Joe Dumars was around to play. Excuse me. Joe Dumars was around the play, but it was originally Michael Curry who slammed into his knee. And that's where his knee issues began. But he still played through the pain the entire playoffs. He did have 38 points in Game 1 versus the Bulls in the 96 Eastern Conference Finals. But they lost 121-83. They blew a 17-point lead in Game 2. Then after that, the series was just essentially over after that. And so Penny talked about this. Penny said that after the season was over, because he and Shaq were going to play in the Olympics together. He and Shaq were on the Dream Team, okay? And Penny Hardaway talked about that. Penny Hardaway said he only took 2 days off, okay? Penny Hardaway said that he only took 2 days off before he had to play more basketball for the Dream Team. So the season was over. He took only 2 days off. Then he was back with the I guess preparing for the Dream Team. And the interesting thing about that is when Shaq signed with the Lakers, Penny said he didn't even find out about it. Penny said he didn't even find out about it until they did the press conference at the Olympics. So Penny Hardaway was the last to know. Yeah. Penny said it himself. He said he didn't even find out that Shaq signed with the LA Lakers until they did the press conference at the Olympics. So Penny Hardaway was the last to know. So no, everything got handed over to him. But like I said, those knee injuries began limiting him. This is a good chunk of the 96-97 season. Then Horace Grant got injured. Ronnie Cycli got injured. And so they did face the Miami Heat in the first round of the playoffs and lost the first 2 games, but Penny came back and single-handedly willed them to 2 victories in Orlando and nearly won Game 5. But but Penny was dominant. He, if people say, was Penny really that good? Yes, he was, because think about this. in the 97-98 season with his knee issues still bothering him. He only played in like 17, 18 games that year. Despite that, he was still voted an NBA All-Star on the Eastern Conference. That's how good Penny Hardaway was, okay? He was still voted a Eastern Conference All-Star, despite the fact he only played in 18 games that year, okay? And there was a lot of what he calls penny bashing. And he went on a radio show prior to his exit from Orlando, and he just went off. And Penny said he wanted to leave, so he left. But he says it himself, he should have retired like years before. But Penny just loved the game so much that he just played through the pain. And so after Orlando, it was on to Phoenix, then I believe New York, then I believe he played with Shaq briefly in Miami. And then he was traded back to Orlando at the end of his career, but he never suited up for them. Okay, he never suited up for the Orlando Magic. And so we were robbed. We were robbed of Penny Hardaway's greatness. And it's just unfortunate because he could have been right up there with Michael, Magic, Larry, MJ. I said Michael, Magic, Larry, MJ. He could have been up there with the greats. But but yeah, he was robbed. But Penny Hardaway said it himself. Penny Hardaway was a low-key guy. And Shaq described it as Shaq was more and Penny was more. So they said they had to do something to offset Penny's low-key image, okay? So here's what they did. I got this thing sitting at my desk every day. This good little guy right here. This little guy right here. Yeah. Lil Penny. Lil Penny, you got something to say?
Can you do that for brother?
Sure enough. I think Lil Penny has more to say, right?
I know my spot, fool.
Alright, man. Alright, Penny. Alright, man. Cool. Alright, man.
The Secret Service couldn't guard me.
Now you see that? Lil Penny so confident in his abilities, man. Not even the Secret Service could guard him. But yeah, Penny Hardaway said this little guy right here was a bigger star than he was. Okay, and you remember that commercial where they did with his Tyra Banks. Penny, stop the car. That was Tyra Banks, fool. And this is the voice of Chris Rock too. Okay, so yeah, this little guy right here. Man, I love her, Lil Penny. Lil Penny was all. He was something else, wasn't he? Lil Penny was something else, was he? Right. So yeah, but we were robbed of Penny's greatness. Those injuries just took him away. Another person we were robbed of was Grant Hill. Okay. Grant Hill was just that damn good coming out of college that he was being compared to Michael Jordan, being compared to players like Dr. J because of the way he dunked, the way he, his quickness, his speed. And Grant Hill said himself early on in his career, basically most of my offense was watch Michael Jordan, watch Michael Jordan, watch Michael Jordan, and try to incorporate some of Jordan's stuff into Grant Hill's game, just like Kobe imported Jordan stuff into his game, okay? But Grant Hill was one of the most athletic forwards, I guess you could say, forwards in the game. From 1995 to 1999, he was one of the best players in the league. Absolutely one of the best players in the league. And he could hold his own against players like Scottie Pippen, and one of the most dominant players in the league. And I would say the thing that robbed Grant Hill in Detroit was at the tail end of his career in Detroit, where I was watching the playoffs in 2000. They were playing the Miami Heat in the first round, and he had a foot injury. And I believe he tried to come back. But couldn't. And he was out for the rest of the playoffs. And that foot really bothered him. And not only did it bother him, it basically kept him out for the next 4 years. Basically, because he played in only 4 games with the Orlando Magic. Then he played like in 14 games in the next year, 29 games the next year. And I forget how many games he played in 2003, 2004, but the Orlando Magic were pretty much a terrible team, terrible to mediocre team, a first-round playoff team. And it was supposed to be Grant Hill, McGrady, and Tim Duncan, okay? But the thing about it is Doc Rivers had a certain rule that players couldn't take their wives on road trips, quote, business trips, okay? And so when Tim Duncan found that out, Tim Duncan was like, nah, I'm out. I'm re-signing with San Antonio. So if Duncan had signed with Orlando, that probably would have offset the loss of Grant Hill those 4 years, okay? But in a weird way, it's sort of a weird way, Grant Hill actually played longer with those injuries in a bit of a weird way, because he had several more good years ahead, decent to good years ahead of him, because after he got healthy with the Magic, 2004, 2005, he was healthy. He had stops in Phoenix, the Clippers, if I'm not mistaken, and I believe he had one more stop with another team. But can't remember, but yeah, he closed his career with the Clippers, and he tells a funny story. He tells a funny story. Let me see. Let me see if I can find it. If I can't find it. Okay, yeah. Here goes, right here. All right.
Michael was everybody, but like you say,
Okay. Give me a second. Here we go.
Back to open court as we wrap this show up. We posed the question to this panel with a combined 95 years of NBA experience.
Grant,
95 years of experience. What was the moment that you knew it was over, Grant?
Oh, wow. For me, last year, Game 5, Memphis. Haven't played the whole series, probably didn't play the 10 games going into the playoffs. I'm all excited. I think I'm going to play. I'm going in layup line, trying to keep up with the young guys dunking in layup line. And at the end of the game, I didn't play, but my knees hurt. So when the series is over, I get an MRI, and I have a surface tear of my medial meniscus. And so when you hurt yourself in layup line, it's time to go sit down. It might be time.
Yeah. Everybody take a shot of
Yeah. So, Grant Hill said it. So when you hurt yourself in layup line, it's probably time to quit. Okay. It's probably time to quit. But, speaking of former Pistons, I think Isiah Thomas has a more crazier story about knowing when it's over. Hold on. Let me find it. Okay, yeah.
I'll never forget it. We were on a road trip, and it was maybe 2 or 3 weeks before the season was getting ready to end. We were in Orlando, and we was coming from Detroit, and we was checking to the hotel, and the next morning we had an 11 o'clock shoot around. And so I got up early, like I always do, ate some breakfast, and now I'm laying by the pool. You know, the sun is out. And, you know, I'm timing myself waiting to go to the bus. And the pool is sitting there, I'm laying there. And,
I think I know how this story is.
And, you know, I'm looking at my watch, and I'm like, I don't want to go to practice. I don't want to go to shoot around. And that was the first time in my life that I never wanted to go to the gym. And it scared me that I didn't want to go to the gym that day. And that's when I said, I'm done. And 2 weeks later, I think I tore my Achilles because mentally I had already checked out.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah. But I had checked out like 2 or 3 weeks before that. But I never forget, I remember going home telling my wife.
This is the funny part right here.
Baby, it's over. And she used to get up and, you know, make the pregame meal, right? Your wife make the pregame meal and everything. So the next 2 weeks, you know what I had for pregame meal? No. A peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Damn, I know. She said, I'm retiring too.
All right, Kenny, you're up.
I don't know if I can top that one. But I tell you,
Isiah Thomas's wife said, I'm retiring too. Now that's funny, okay? That's funny. By the way, just a little side note. When Isiah Thomas tore his Achilles in the last game of the season, 1984, guess who they were playing? Penny Hardaway and the Orlando Magic. Yep. All right, that's it. And that's all for Throwing It Back with Sean Farrell. I am out of here. May God bless you all. Many blessings to y'all. Peace.